Most people don't fail because life is unbearable. They fail because everything gets to them. A comment, a minor setback, a moment of pressure, one tiny inconvenience, and their whole inner world collapses. The truth is simple and brutal. Life doesn't break you. Every time you overthink, over-explain, snap back, or let someone pull emotion out of you, you hand over your power piece by piece. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No overthinking, no emotional outbursts, no spiraling because of someone else's mood, tone, or opinion. Imagine a version of you who stands inside the storm and still doesn't flinch, calm, centered, unshaken. So ask yourself this: who would you become if nothing could disturb your inner world? This message isn't about pretending to be strong. It's about becoming the kind of person who cannot be moved, manipulated, or mentally thrown off course no matter what the world throws at you. Life is loud. People talk. Opinions fly. Pressure hits you from every direction. The world never stops throwing noise at you. Criticism, expectations, disappointments, unexpected disruptions. But here is the truth. Weakness isn't created by the noise. It's created by your need to react to it. Most people move through life like emotional puppets. Someone pulls a string, they dance. Someone disrespects them, they explode. Someone doubts them, they panic. But the strongest people operate differently. They walk through the same chaos, the same stress, the same unpredictability, yet they remain still, as if they know something the rest of the world doesn't. Picture a warrior standing in the middle of a battlefield. Arrows fly. Ground shakes. Voices scream, but his eyes stay calm. Not because the war isn't real, but because his mind is already prepared for it. That is the core mindset you must build. Inner stillness in an unstable world. When your inner world becomes steady, the outer world loses its power over you. Nothing can break you. Nothing can pull you off balance. Nothing can control you without your permission. Strength doesn't start with action. Strength starts with stillness. Most people don't lose control because life overwhelms them. They lose control because their emotions run the show. A rude tone, a disrespectful comment, a sudden disappointment, and instantly, they spiral. They react before they think. They speak before they breathe. They let a moment dictate their entire day. But emotional detachment changes everything. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being owned by what you feel. It means your emotions become data, not commands. It means you observe your inner world instead of drowning in it. The weak react instantly. The strong react intentionally. They pause. They assess. They choose the response that serves them, not the one that satisfies their impulses. Picture this. Someone insults you in public. They expect anger, chaos, drama, a show, but you simply breathe, look at them, and walk away. No reaction, no energy wasted, no power surrendered. In that moment, you didn't lose, they did. Because emotional detachment is not silence. It's superiority. When you control your emotions, you control the outcome. Ask yourself a simple question. Will this matter 5 years from now? Most of the things that steal your peace today won't matter 5 months from now, sometimes not even 5 hours from now. Yet people pour their energy, attention, and emotions into every tiny inconvenience, every passing comment, every temporary setback, and that is why they stay exhausted. Not because life is heavy, but because they're carrying things that were never meant to be carried. Mindful indifference is a superpower. It's not apathy, it's wisdom. It's the ability to recognize what deserves your energy and what deserves your silence. Weak individuals react to everything. A look, a tone, a delay, a misunderstanding. Their peace is fragile because it depends on external perfection, something that doesn't exist. Strong individuals operate differently. They don't attend every battle. They don't chase every opinion. They let the small things fall away because they know their time, focus, and mental bandwidth are too valuable to waste. The philosophy is simple. Not everything is worth your attention. Not everyone is worth your reaction. Make this your daily practice. Filter, ignore, refocus. Because the moment you stop caring about what doesn't matter, you become unstoppable in what does. Seeking approval is a silent prison. Most people don't even realize they're locked inside it. They adjust their tone, shrink their personality, dilute their dreams, and soften their truth, all to avoid offending someone who doesn't even care about their future. The fear behind it is simple. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of standing alone. But here's the reality. The more you chase approval, the more you lose yourself. Look around. They're the most magnetic, confident people you know aren't the ones begging to be liked. They're the ones who walk into a room unapologetically themselves, flaws and all. People respect them not because they fit in, but because they refuse to. Weak individuals bend to opinions. Strong individuals stand on values. Weak individuals ask, do they like me? Strong individuals ask, do I respect myself? The shift happens the moment you stop outsourcing your worth. When you validate yourself, when you celebrate your small wins, when you stop needing applause to feel enough. Because here's the truth you must internalize. You don't need permission to be who you are. You don't need approval to pursue what you want. You don't need the world to clap before you start walking. Your life changes the moment you stop asking and start becoming. Choose yourself and watch your power return instantly. Pressure exposes people. Some break, some panic, some collapse at the first sign of resistance. Not because the situation is impossible, but because their mind is untrained. Here's the truth. Most people expect life to be smooth, predictable, and comfortable. So the moment something goes wrong, a setback, a delay, a challenge, they lose their composure. They react emotionally, complain loudly, or freeze completely. But the strongest individuals think differently. They expect pressure. They plan for difficulty. They walk into life like a warrior walks into battle, knowing resistance is not the exception, but the rule. Picture a seasoned fighter stepping onto the battlefield. He doesn't hope everything goes perfectly. He doesn't panic when an attack comes from the side. He's ready not because the battle is easy, but because his mind is disciplined. That's the mindset you must build. Calm is not the absence of pressure. Calm is the mastery of self in the presence of it. Here's how you train it. When stress hits, pause, not panic. When emotions rise, breathe, don't react. When plans change, adapt, don't complain. When things get chaotic, slow down, don't speed up. Pressure becomes your enemy only when you resist reality. But when you embrace it, train for it, and prepare your mind before the storm arrives, pressure turns into your strategic advantage. Because the truth is simple. The one who stays calm wins every single time. Suffering doesn't come from life itself. It comes from your attachment to how you think life should be. You grip outcomes too tightly. You replay conversations you can't change. You obsess over people you can't control. You cling to expectations that reality never promised to fulfill. And every time the world refuses to match your script, you feel pain. Here's the truth. Life does not bend just because you demand it to, but you can bend, and that's where your strength is found. Picture a river flowing around a rock. It doesn't get angry. It doesn't resist. It doesn't stop moving. It simply adapts, shifts direction, and keeps going. And because it doesn't fight the obstacle, it never loses its power. Most people are the opposite. They attach their peace to things they cannot influence and then wonder why they're exhausted. Strong individuals move like water. They accept what is. They adjust without losing themselves. They stay committed to the journey, but unattached to the conditions. Here is the strategy. Recognize what's inside and outside your control. Release anything that doesn't belong to you. Redirect your energy toward what moves you forward. Remind yourself, expectations create suffering, not reality. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is choosing freedom over frustration. It's choosing clarity over chaos. It's choosing movement over emotional paralysis. And when you master this, something powerful happens. Nothing owns you anymore. Nothing manipulates your peace. Nothing can break you from the outside, because the strongest minds don't cling. They flow. Silence makes most people uncomfortable. They rush to fill the space. They over-explain. They defend themselves unnecessarily. They talk just to avoid the tension of quiet. And that is exactly why silence is power. The moment you stop reacting, stop explaining, stop filling every second with words, you shift the entire dynamic of the room. People start wondering what you're thinking. They question themselves. They reveal their intentions without you lifting a finger. Because silence forces the world to show its cards while you keep yours hidden. Weak individuals crave noise. They need to prove, to argue, to announce. Their words spill out from insecurity, not strength. Strong individuals move differently. They listen more than they speak. They observe more than they respond. They calculate before they open their mouth. And when they finally do speak, every word carries weight. Imagine this. Someone insults you. Most people snap back instantly, giving the attacker exactly what they wanted, a reaction. But if you say nothing, if you hold your position with calm stillness, something fascinating happens. They lose power. They lose certainty. They're forced to sit with their own emotion because you refuse to carry it for them. Or picture a negotiation. When the other person makes an offer and you respond with silence, the tension grows. They start talking again. They adjust. They compromise. Why? The plain something, because silence turns your presence into pressure. Here is your strategy. Speak last. Speak less. Let people reveal themselves. Let silence create leverage. Let quiet confidence do what loud ego never can. In a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the one who speaks with intention becomes the one who holds power. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not passivity. Silence is strategy. Use it and watch every room shift in your favor. Your mind is your battlefield, not the world, not your circumstances, not the people around you. Your mind. And every day, you either train it or you let it train you. Most people don't lose the war because of one big failure. They lose because of 1,000 small defeats they never noticed, the mornings they hit snooze, the moments they reacted emotionally, the days they avoided discomfort, the times they quit because it was too hard. Weakness doesn't show up all at once. It's built quietly, silently, through repeated surrender. But mental strength works the same way. It's not built in dramatic bursts of motivation. It's built in the mundane, the consistent, the repetitive. Picture a warrior sharpening his sword every morning. Not when he feels like it, because he knows the battle is coming, and when it arrives, he won't have time to prepare. That's how your mind must be trained. Here is the formula. 1. Discipline over comfort. Wake up when you said you would. Keep the promises you make to yourself. 2. Silence over reaction. When you want to explode, pause. When you want to snap, breathe. When you want to argue, stay still. 3. Focus over distraction. Most people are pulled in 1,000 directions, but you choose one direction forward. 4. Detachment over emotion. Study your feelings. Don't obey them. 5. Movement over stagnation. Even one small action a day builds an unbreakable identity. Mental toughness is not talent. It's training. It's repetition. It's resistance. Every moment you choose discipline over comfort, every time you choose calm over chaos, every time you choose purpose over distraction, you harden your mind. And when the world finally tests you, you won't break. You won't fold. You won't panic. You'll stand there steady because you trained for this. You built this, and nothing can take it from you. Real power doesn't make noise. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't brag, boast, or broadcast. Real power moves quietly and then arrives unmistakably. Most people talk too much. They share their plans before they start. They declare goals they don't follow through on. They look for validation before taking action. They want applause before achievement. And every time they speak too soon, they lose momentum. They leak energy. They invite doubt. They open the door for resistance and criticism long before they've built anything worth critiquing. Strong individuals operate differently. They know that growth happens in private. They understand that silence protects focus. They don't give the world access to their early stages, only their results. Picture a seed buried underground. No noise, no announcement, no audience, just quiet work pushing, growing, strengthening. Then one day, it breaks the surface, and the world finally sees what was happening all along. That's how you must move. Move quietly. Execute relentlessly. Let success reveal itself. Here is your framework. Keep your goals private. People can't sabotage what they don't know. Let your progress be invisible. Work when no one is watching. Speak with action, not promises. Show, don't tell. Stop explaining your vision to small minds. They're not supposed to understand anyway. Arrive with results that silence every doubt without a single word spoken. Because the moment you move in silence, you gain something priceless, an unfair advantage. And when the world finally sees you winning, they won't know how you did it. They won't know when you started. They won't know how to stop you. Because real power doesn't announce. Real power appears. Now you understand something most people never learn. Strength is not built on force. It's built on control. Not control over others, but control over yourself. Your reactions, your emotions, your focus, your mind. People will always have opinions. Pressure will always show up uninvited. Life will always throw storms, setbacks, and surprises at you. That part will never change. But you can. Because once you master your inner world, the outer world loses its power over you. Once you stop chasing approval, stop reacting impulsively, stop clinging to outcomes, stop announcing your every move, something shifts inside you. You become someone different, someone rare, someone unshakable. You develop a presence that speaks without words, a confidence that isn't loud, a focus that can't be broken, and a silence that carries more authority than noise ever could. Remember the pillars you've built. Stillness over chaos, detachment over impulse, indifference over triviality, composure over pressure, acceptance over resistance, silence over noise, discipline over comfort, action over announcement. These aren't just habits. These are identities. They form the blueprint of a mind that nothing and no one can control. At the end of the day, your life won't change because the world becomes easier. Your life will change because you become stronger, master yourself, and nothing in this world will ever master you again.